Hello and welcome. We are live, and I got a lot to talk about today. First and foremost, I'm just so happy for those of you who are here to watch in person, but also for those people who come by and watch these videos after we're streaming. It's super funny because I've been someone who, for not a short amount of time, but like even just considering this last year when I've really been digging my heels into production, entertainment production of any kind, a lot of my videos had a lot of the streams we've done had 4 views, 5 views of anything I've posted after the fact. But recently, we've been getting above 10 views. Now that doesn't seem like a whole lot, sure, but that's a more than double the amount I've been getting up until this point.
And the last one we did actually is 33 views.
Yeah, the last one we did was 33 views.
That clickbait worked.
It worked. See, that's the thing. It did. It really did. Yeah. There's that too. And I'd also like to say that one of my videos that I produced recently, Why Bards Are Great, which is now being changed to Why Class Are Awesome, just surpassed all the way up until my most viewed video on this channel ever in the 7 or 8 years I've been producing on this channel. I don't know how we're going to pass the Town of Salem one until a little bit later, but you know, the Town of Salem one also makes no fucking sense. Because that video, I die in the first night of the game, and it's a 30-minute video.
Yeah, it's one of those videos that the YouTube algorithm just takes, and you're just like, okay.
Yeah, it was really weird. That's my benchmark for success. The channel's really going when I beat that one dumb video that the algorithm actually helped me with.
Yeah.
So,
that would be a video you actually kind of care about and put a lot of effort into.
Yeah. So, and my goodness. My recent video I made on the 2 new classes coming to Pathfinder as well has been doing phenomenally. Most of my videos up until this point, besides Druid, which I think I might just do the new thumbnail art for Druid. We'll have to see. But have been doing about 60 or so views in a week. And this one's already at 80. And it's not even... we're just at the 5-day mark. So that's been really, really good. Also, I'd like to say, Alex, if you could check my audio, please.
Oh yes, of course, actually.
please do so. I think we're doing good because Jess came in and made some happy faces. So obviously, I'm not just voicelessly talking into the mic.
Yeah, it's working.
Okay, good. I'll probably stop asking now because I think it's been working. I don't know, when we first started ever doing stuff, I had so many audio problems.
Yeah, it's a safe thing to check, honestly, regardless.
But yeah, so this is just me saying thank you to everyone. We've gotten to 65 subscribers on YouTube so far. So we're getting close to the 100 mark, which I'll have to do something for. I don't know what, but it'll be a big achievement for someone like me, who's just a new, beginning streamer, beginning YouTube content creator. So, we enjoy even the small steps here. We want to make sure that, for any project, and for any project you're doing as well, make sure that you appreciate every step you're taking forward. Even if it's just a comment here, comment there, video here, video there. Whatever projects you're doing, be proud of every step you make, because that's what's going to make it, if that's what you want to do, that's what's going to push you to achieve those kind of thoughts and dreams and ideas. But enough about me being sappy. Excuse me. Now we're going to talk about some news for the channel. So, we've been doing pretty good recently. We had some inconsistency issues. They're a little smoothing out, but again, we missed one this week as well. It's just the nature of games in general, and until I can pay my players to actually be here as their job, we're going to let people take days off when they need it. But speaking on scheduling, our new Pathfinder game is underway. We'll be having our session 0 for it next Friday. And we're still looking for like one more person. So if you are interested, please check us out in the Discord down in the description below or underneath on Twitch. And join our Discord and then hop in and let me know that you're interested in joining a game. Be very excited. We're doing it, I believe, Fridays at 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I don't know, I'm not sure if you're aware, Alex. I'm sure you are, but one of your roommates has joined the game.
Yeah, he told me. He was saying that Wednesdays wouldn't work for him, but he was excited because one, I've told good stories from our games, and he's been like really looking for an RP heavy like game where you can just talk. So I mean, he's super excited. He's brand new to Pathfinder. I think he mentioned he might want to wait until he can get a gun, just like me. Like you can see why we're friends. But yeah, he mentioned that, and I was actually going to ask if he it was a confirmed thing. I'm glad to hear.
Yeah, I mean, he said he's wanted to. We're having Slug and Booter come back for another go. Suzanne said she wanted to join, so Suzanne will also be joining me for the game as well. Nice. So we just want one more person. I like to have 5 players so that if a player's out, usually we can still play. Just hedging our bets on being a little bit more consistent. Cast spoilers, woo! Yeah, and you're like one of 3 people here, Jess, so congrats. You get the deets. Granted, this is going to be recorded on YouTube anyway, but you're one of the first, so it's special, I promise. I'm super excited for it. The Mwangi book, let's see, I got it down here somewhere. Here we go. So the Mwangi book here, it's a pretty thick book too for like a world book section. And I've been super excited to run it. They have a lot of really fun things in here. There's like this orc sorcerer dude who has like 67 kids. Like, random fact, but it's just one of those things where it's like, it's because apparently he fathers a lot of triplets or twins. Okay. And they all have different mothers, obviously.
Yeah, and I guess that adds up.
It's really interesting that it's in here. He's like a lawful good sorcerer. So I don't know. It's really, really interesting. I think his name is like Maruk or something like that. I can't wait to the orcs in the Mwangi Expanse are also really, really fun. So I can't wait to do some stuff with that as well. So yeah, that's been going pretty much according to plan. There is a possibility I will be missing out on our Tuesday game next week. Just because my birthday is this coming weekend. And my family is going to be coming over for like a dinner date kind of thing. So that might be happening sometime on Tuesday. And of course, if I can do the session, I will. If we have lunch sometime a little earlier in the day. But if not, then we're just going to have to miss out, unfortunately. But yeah, so that's going to be really, really cool. Sorry, you going to say something?
I just find it funny because my birthday is going to be on our one of our anima sessions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any plans till the week after because main reason if I go back home and celebrate my birthday, I want to be able to drink, which I'll only be able to do if I take the next weekend.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on doing anything, but my mom was like, hey, you want to have dinner at some point? And I was like, sure. And I wanted to have dinner with Suzanne, so I wanted it to be 1 or 2 days off, and I didn't want to miss another anime game. So I was like, please, can we have it on Tuesday? So,
yeah, that's fair.
So we might be missing out next Tuesday, but other than that, things are going good. The Tuesday game is really doing really, really well. I'm super excited for it. I'm super excited for Pathfinder in general. There's so many interesting things I learn all the time about Pathfinder. So the more I do with it, and the more I interact with some of the community. Like, I learned a new rule today that we've been doing focus points a little bit wrong. But that's okay, because we don't use a lot of focus points anyways, so it's not
really
been a problem. But, yeah, so we've been doing focus points a little bit wrong. But yeah, I don't think I have any other announcements other than, let's see, we got the new Friday game coming up. With the Friday game, I will still be producing videos for Saturdays, so that will not be changing. It just means I'll be doing a lot more of my work on Wednesday and maybe finishing my editing on Thursday, and then I'll just be producing it on Saturdays. It still gives me a chance to work some things out. So Saturdays is a pretty good day. And for the whole focus point thing, unless you have a feat or class feature, you can only refocus once between uses of focus points. So most classes standardly, you can get.
So you can't just like paladins like guys, let's take a few hours and just fucking heal.
No, you can do that. That's the thing. That's still in the rules.
You know, makes sense, but like that's something that's I don't think really negatively affected our game.
Well, no. You can still do that. You can still sit down and use lay on hands, rest, lay on hands, rest. The thing that you can't do is you can't rest multiple times to get multiple focus points back. So if you have 2 focus points, for instance, and you blow them in your first combat of the day.
Right now?
Oh my god.
Oh, hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. They could hear me, apparently.
Yeah, they could. I checked the stream. It was like, I just heard you not speaking, and I'm like, this is weird. I checked the stream, and you're just talking.
So what I was saying was, you can actually sit down and do healing over and over, just like before. Okay. The only thing that changed is you can't get more than 1 focus point back at a time, which means you can't sit and refocus to get like 2 points back or 3 points back by doing it multiple times in a row. Okay. So if you have 2 focus points and you blow it on the first combat, for the rest of that day, you can only have 1 focus point per combat, pretty much.
Huh.
It changes if you get feats that are like, oh, you can refocus 2 points or 3 points, you know, those are the valuable ones. But yeah, that was something apparently we've been doing wrong, and it was asked about in the chat, so I figured I would give a more solid answer than just being like, yeah, we've been doing it wrong, so on to our video for the day. But speaking of, on to the video for the day, we're going to be talking about healers today, and why I think healers are really cool, but in Pathfinder, delicious. They're good. They're great. Like, honestly, I've never wanted to play a healer support character more in tabletop than I have in Pathfinder, because you can do so many cool things with it in so many ways. For those who don't know, I'm a healer main, typically on like MMOs I play and stuff like that. I like supporting people. I like being the reason why the party succeeds, you know, in my own way. I like focusing on the team when it comes to a combat, and doing that while intermixing like damage abilities and trying to do my best for the combat at the same time. Like, it's just a lot more of an active role than just straight DPSing. And Alex, I think you wanted to say something about your like impressions of healing in tabletop.
Yeah, so when it comes to games, I do like playing healers sometimes. Like when Overwatch was a big thing, I played Mercy. Like, that was my main. When I played Apex for a bit, I played the healer character. I like playing characters in like co-op games. I like either playing a like medic healer kind of character or fucking long range support sniper. It's my favorite shit. Except when it comes to tabletop, because in tabletop I like being DPS. I think it is way more fun to be the paladin with the fuck ton of damage on one hit, the rogue with like really like hard hitting sneak attacks. I prefer playing playing like DPS. The exception I'd say is like Bard, but that's just like minor support stuff and like debuff things. I'm not, because I play a Bard, I'm not a full healer. I have healing stuff, but that's not my thing. I have cure wounds in case shit goes bad.
That's fair. And also, Jess, I'm playing Sage no matter what. You will have to kill me and pry Sage from my cold dead hands before you take it from me. Anyway, I had to respond to that comment in chat. But speaking of like your experiences with that, why do you think you don't like healers as much in tabletop?
I guess I'm not a fan of the idea of dedicating my entire turn to just making someone's life bar go up. I want to hit something and do the big damage. I want to narrate the cool like fight thing. That's not to say like, you know, the kind of counter I can hear to that is, oh, just narrate your healing magic really cool. It's like, I could. It's not. It doesn't feel the same. Like it's not as badass to be like, oh, here's the cool fighting move I do, and here's me describing my magic stitching you up. It's cool. It's not my same level of cool though. I don't like equate the two in my own descriptions. Like,
there's less impact. Less impact
like
to healing narration.
There's like we've played with people, like we have players that we play with that have fantastic magic descriptions. It's awesome. I love hearing how they do their healing magic. I love hearing how they do their magic. It ain't my strong suit. I feel like I can describe my character doing a cool little combat maneuver a bit better. And I think it's more fun to do so.
That's fair. And yeah, like Jess said, there's a lot less impact on healing than damage, because healing is like... It's like hitting the turbo in your car versus like fueling it up, you know?
Yeah.
Like, turbo just makes you go fast. It doesn't matter that the tank empties faster. And while you're gonna get where you're going, more likely by filling your tank up, hitting turbo to feel like you get there faster, always feels a lot more satisfying. And my impressions of it are kind of twofold. One, I think 5th edition's healing has been really bad for healers in general.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of the healing done in 5th edition was... it felt very moot, because a lot of the healing you did do was countered by the time your turn came around again. I was playing a druid. And a lot of my spells were just like, I'm gonna heal because the party's gonna die if I don't. And then I heal them, and then they're back to the same health or less the next round.
Yeah, it's like, I remember Laura Bailey said it for Critical Role, like, playing Jester. Like, playing a healer, like, actually healing sometimes is not a good idea. Because, like, sometimes the most effective healing is killing the thing that's causing the damage.
Yeah. And for those of us who play Final Fantasy, like, we know that better than anyone, because, like, if your healer's not DPSing, the fight takes much longer, and sometimes you can lose a fight because you hit enrage. So, like, you have to kill, like, a dead enemy is a less dangerous one than a live one, for sure. But, like, 5th edition, I feel, didn't give healing the proper respect it deserves in the tabletop game. And I think on top of that, healing is always super one-dimensional, right? It's like, I heal, your hit points goes up. And there's rarely anything else that comes with that. It's just a point-per-point thing, you know? While, like, so many damaging abilities or spells are just like, oh, I hit you, and then this happens, or I hit you, and this happens, or under these conditions, I can do a buttload of damage.
Yeah, it's
And
like you can do like a cool status effect. You can cause bleed. You can make them disoriented, and then it's healing. It's I heal you.
I heal, yeah.
You get bigger number.
You get your HP goes up until next round when it goes back down, and then I have to do this again.
And then in addition, it's like, oh, I could cast a super fun buff, but that person's about to die, or that person is dying, and I need to heal them. So that's the thing too. My first impression of healers was through a 5th edition lens, and like, yeah, I don't like the idea of just being forced to heal everybody, because that's not what I have fun with.
Yeah, and then Jess mentioned, Jess has been awesome in chat, by the way. Good job tossing in all kinds of, I mean, from someone who plays a lot of healer in Final Fantasy, I should have expected as much.
I also
there's
play
not a lot
Doctor in the game I'm in with them.
Oh, okay, cool. But yeah, there's not a lot of shielding spells, and that also feels really kind of lame. There's just not a lot of ways to do proactive healing, and sometimes it feels like that would be a little bit better, just so I felt like what you did had a lot more impact. I feel like shielding has more impact than actually healing does, because shielding is, look at the damage I prevented you from having, versus healing, which is, I got you back to where you were last turn, you know? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like, Pathfinder's got a good example of the two differences. Champion has a really great ability.
Uh-oh, you cut out again.
I think they can hear me.
Whoa. Oh boy, your mic.
Hello.
Hello.
Can the chat hear me?
I can hear you, at least through the stream.
Okay, if you can hear me, that's fine. Okay.
Yeah,
it's
can
every
hear you
team. Every time Fredboat like comes down, I think it just fucks with the chat.
That's weird.
Because that's what's happened every time as Fredboat leaves, and then suddenly you're like, oh, I can't hear you. But it's good to mention regardless, because who knows what might be happening. Oh, but granted, my mic audio is actually going straight to stream, so it's not going through Discord. So that's also the difference. But yeah, Jess mentioned, like, spell does 80 damage. Healing at the same spell slot does 5 HP. Or, like, does, like, half of that. And it feels really bad.
Yeah, honestly, like, the actual good healing that Jess's character is able to output is directly because Quentin gave like, her better ways to do it. That is the only reason, like, at least spell-wise and ability-wise, we're probably still alive. Because, like, Quentin's made some very good, like, homebrew stuff that has made healing a little better. Because, yeah, there is, like, legitimately no good spells, and all the good healing stuff Jess says are things that I know are not in the book, like, at all. Because I've never heard of them.
But what I was saying before, you know, we had our Discord faux pas there, in Pathfinder, there's a really good difference between, like, a healing and damage preventive in the classes. Champion gets an ability where they can step in and negate damage to you. That always feels really good. It always feels really clutch when that happens. The champion steps in and they're like, okay, you only take 5 damage. And you're just like, man, you just negated 15 damage. That's really cool. Yeah, even if the healer comes in later and is just like, I heal you for 40, and you're just like, ah, thank you.
Yeah, like whenever Slug's character stepped in and was like, liberating step, it's like always super appreciative. I was like, oh, hell yeah.
So, like, I feel like that's also something. There's more impact when it comes to damage prevention than it comes from healing. But today we're going to be talking about Pathfinder, and I'm going to be telling Alex and everyone else here why healer is really, really good. And we were both supposed to have builds today for our healers.
You don't need to call me out.
It was Alex's idea.
You don't need to call me out.
I do have to, because it was your idea.
Well, listen, like, you know, you could finish the statement, or we could leave it, like, out in the open. Like, Just, oh yeah, I'm gonna tell you some builds and then leave it at that, you know?
So I'm going to talk a lot today about healers while Alex sits there and frantically makes a build so that we can talk about
Oh, that was the, oh shit, that was the agreement. Uh-oh.
it.
Okay. Listen, I made a suggestion last week. Hey, we should make characters and like healers and bring it all up and we'll talk about them and it's super cool. And then I straight up fucking forgot the moment I left the call. And I haven't thought about it since until we brought it up today. Because it was the first week of classes for me and I got very distracted.
That's fair. But like I said, just look at something, at least give me something to talk about.
Yeah, I gotcha.
when we're talking about that. But I'm going to tell all of you right now why Pathfinder is really, really good when it comes to healing, especially when it comes to the action economy. And we actually already brought up my first real good point about it, which is damage prevention. Pathfinder innately comes with a lot of good damage prevention when you're talking about the step abilities from the different champions. Druid and Cleric can both get shield block, which just negates damage that they themselves take, which is really good, especially because they don't get a lot of reactions anyway. So for both of those classes, getting shield block is pretty clutch. Beyond that, healing is done through a lot of different avenues. The main methods of healing in Pathfinder as of right now, and of course this is going to change as the game keeps going on, is healing spells, alchemy potions or standard healing potions, and battle medicine. Now, we're going to talk about battle medicine first because this is what I think is really, really good about Pathfinder. Battle medicine is a single action ability you can do in combat where you stitch someone up on the battlefield and they can get either 2d8 or 48 hit points. And that's at level 1. 2d8 or 48 hit points at level 1.
Yeah, that's like a good chunk, if not all your health. Like
at level
really
1
good.
especially.
Yeah, battle medicine was always super cool. Like I really like the concept of battle medicine existing because my biggest gripe with a lot of like tabletop healers is that you have to be a divine like healer. You can't just be a medical student or some shit.
Yeah, and Slug's Soothing Mist spell that the Rangers get is really good. It's a level 4 feat you can pick up, and it heals 48 HP plus... Oh, at level 8. So, 48 now. I guess it was 1d8 before. But it also removes a persistent damage effect on you.
Ooh.
Yeah. We've seen too many people burn to acid nearly to death to know that's a really good ability,
That's
actually.
really good.
Anyway, like, battle medicine. Literally non-magical healing. You just take out your sutures and just stitch someone up on the combat. You put a combat splint on them, something really, it's really, really cool. And not only that, this is not class specific. Any class can grab this as long as they're at least trained in medicine. And there's extra feats and features you can do that actually makes battle medicine even better. When we had Peak in our Tuesday game up until recently, they were able to heal like 30 damage in a round with battle medicine.
Ooh, good lord.
Yeah, it was nuts. You can get feats where you can get crits really easy, where you heal 48. Plus the investigator, one of my favorite classes, there is a subtype of investigator that just adds their level to the healing they do with battle medicine, the forensic investigator. Huh. There's also the medic dedication, where if you hit certain target numbers, you heal additional hit points for those. And this is all for battle medicine. All of it.
That's like, I like that. That like, is there more classes that have like weird combos with battle medicine, or is it just like?
Yes, actually, and here's a fun one, right? Cleric will not take second place for healing, no matter what. Even when it comes to fucking battle medicine, they get a feat called Magic Hands. It's a level 6 feat. And they automatically do max healing whenever they do battle medicine.
Oh, good lord.
So that 2d8, just 16. That 48, 32.
Oh my god.
Like, just being a cleric is just like, if you crit your roll, you just get 32 back. And, then you can just take risky surgery. You can't take risky surgery for battle medicine. That's incorrect. I had something like that, but that was because one of the players found a intelligent scalpel that allowed them to do risky surgery in combat. But there's still a bunch of features that allow you to just get a lot of HP out of it. And like I said, the forensic investigator adds their level to it. The medic gets bonuses based on what target numbers you hit. Like, there's so much. There's so much that I absolutely love battle medicine.
That's super cool.
It's super cool. And you can aesthetically do it for every class. Every class. Yeah, some classes do battle medicine better. But that 32 HP that I mentioned before, like, that is... anyone can do that. Like, anyone can crit and do, like, 4d8 HP and get possibly 32 HP or more. It's nuts. And the fact that you can throw this onto any class just makes them really, really good. But other than that, or beyond that, let's talk about the next part of healing in Pathfinder that really sets it apart, and that's potions.
Yeah, good
Alex,
lord.
tell me about potions. Tell the crowd about potions.
So, potions, I can look up the specific actual stats for it, but take whatever you think about 5th edition potions and toss them out the fucking window, because 5th edition potions are utter garbage. They are the worst. Like, yes, I'm gonna spend 50 gold for what, 2d4 plus 2 or 2d4 plus 4 healing. Like, instead in Pathfinder, you're like, 16 gold, 2d8 plus whatever. I'm looking up the actual, like...
it's not even that much. It's 3 gold. 3 gold, by the way, for 1d8.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the lesser.
The lesser is 12 gold, I want to say. And that is 2d8 plus 5.
Yeah. Really good, and like they're all super cheap and make sense. Like, oh god, where the fuck is it in Archive of Nethys? Good lord.
Equipment, consumables.
Yeah. Oh, there's so many tabs in this.
Such a scrub. I'm already there.
I don't browse that often.
Alright, so healing potion minor. 4 gold pieces, 1d8 HP. 12 gold pieces for lesser, 2d8 plus 5. A moderate healing potion, 50 gold pieces! 50 gold pieces! The same as the standard potion in 5th edition! Sorry, I got a little excited about this one. 3d8 plus 10.
Really good.
Greater is 400 gold pieces, so this is where we're starting to get a little bit into the crazier ones.
Yeah, a bit of a jump.
6d8 plus 20. And the last one, the major healing potion, is 5,000 gold pieces, and it's 8d8 plus 30.
Nuts. Absolutely nuts. And also the fact
Flip
that
the excitement for over 50 gold.
Also the fact that like there's just really good support potions too. Besides just pure healing, there are some excellent potions that are really good just to like give you a buff. The one I used a lot in our Tuesday game was the Drakenheart mutagen. Like, just besides just healing, compared to anything else, if you just have like some sort of alchemist that is pumping out potions, there's so many really good support potions that you can give to like your allies. Like, here's a healing potion, here's something that'll make you a little harder to hit, here's something that'll like help you deal more damage. Like, there's really handy support options just if you invest in potions.
And then let's not also forget alchemists. First of all, alchemists can just make healing potions for the day and just have potions available every day. By the way, they can, if they make potions at the beginning of the day for their preparations, not even using their quick alchemy, they can make like 12 potions at the beginning of the day. And then with quick alchemy, you can just make one up, you know, and just have a potion you just made on the spot. But alchemists have their own potion called Potion of Life, and it gives a little less healing, but it gives you an item bonus to your poisons and your diseases. Like, there's so many different healing like avenues you can take in this game that just are better, that they either do something differently. Like we said, healing mist, really good. Removing persistent damage is really good for those who have suffered at its hands.
Yeah,
I'll tell you,
or have caused others to suffer at its hands. Like, but it's nuts. Having that ability to get rid of those can be a lifesaver.
And I'll tell everyone here in chat right now, battle medicine is one action. You still get 2 more actions to do something in the combat round. Drinking a potion is 2 actions. You still get 1 action remaining because you gotta pull it out of your pack and then drink it. We have a rule in our game where you can move and pull something out of your pack at the same time. So, in actuality, drinking potions, in my games at least, are still only really 1 action, as long as you don't mind moving as a part of it, you know?
Yeah, it's really handy.
And, like, the Champion's Lay on Hands ability, 1 action. I think Soothing Mist is also 1 action, because it's a focus spell. I'm not 100% sure on that one.
This is the first I've heard about Soothing Mist. To be honest, I haven't looked into Rangers that much. Though at least while you're double checking, I will say too, like, there's the other, like, almost the core ability I think of when it comes to healing, and that's just the heal spell itself. And like, even that, like, is anywhere from 1 to 3 actions. You can make it a single action cast, you can make it a 2 action cast. You still can do something after you heal. Unless you're doing a big fucking burst heal. But like,
and Slug actually brings up a good point. Lay on Hands for a single action heals 6 per spell level, and it gives your ally plus 2 AC if you do it on someone else.
I was waiting to bring that up because when you were talking about the physician heals, like, you kind of just heal someone. In Pathfinder, yeah, you really, like, you heal someone and they get something cool. The Lay on Hands to give someone extra AC is awesome. That is an awesome little tidbit ability, and it makes sense for the paladin if a lot of their stuff is negating damage from their allies. It is a fun way to make a healing thing also a fun support thing. It adds just intricacy and more just like fluff to the actual healing you're doing, and it always makes it have a bit more of an impact if the healing you're doing isn't just, oh, thanks, my health went up. It's, oh, I do other things for you, keep this in mind, and then it's like, oh shit, yeah, we can plan around this.
And you kind of jumped ahead of where I was going,
Yeah,
but yeah, let's talk about the actual heal spell, right?
yeah.
So, Pathfinder has spells you can use using a different number of actions. They have variable spells, they're called. The heal spell can be a 1-action touch heal. It can be a 2-action 30-foot heal, which does more healing than the 1-action one. So not only do you get a range added to it, it also just heals you some more.
Yeah.
And then the 3-action heal is a big heal burst that hits everyone within a 30-foot radius of you for the 1-action heal's amount of healing.
And the best part about that final bit, because the biggest complaint is, like, especially from my end, where I like dealing damage, say you're fighting a bunch of zombies or just undead stuff. Your big burst heal is now heal my enemies, heal my friends, kill my enemies. Because, you know, positive damage.
Yeah, positive damage to undead. So all the undead have to make a basic fortitude saving throw, which means that more than likely they'll at least take half the damage of the healing that you're giving your allies. Which, when you look at, like, health economy in the game, that's a huge swing in your advantage in a fight.
Also, there's stuff that'll just buff that, because I was actually looking for feats that helped with healing, and I saw one. Or at least
There's a
something
lot.
It was a spell actually. It's called Angelic Halo. That specifically buffs the heal spell. That it's an aura that those who are healed by a heal spell gain a status bonus to hit points regained equal to double the heal spell's level. So yeah, same situation. You're also just buffing your damage if you have to deal with any undead shit.
And to further twist the knife in 5e's gut, because apparently that's all I do on my channel, is just talk about how Pathfinder is better. I mean, it doesn't matter that I'm objectively right. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. They're two different games that play very differently and have different flows. While they're both role-playing, it's less like saying that two RPG games are the same. When, like, Final Fantasy VII and... oh god, I lost it.
Final Fantasy 15, of all things. Like, they're both very different games.
Well, I was gonna make a bigger contrast. Persona.
Oh, yeah.
Both very different games, have very different flows. Good in their own ways. But to twist the knife in 5e's gut, clerics get extra spell slots for healing. Divine Font is such a good ability. Your cleric gets a number of additional spell slots at their highest spell level equal to their charisma modifier +1, which means that even the most neck-bearded, ugly cleric can still heal you once without dipping into their spell slots. Like,
just fucking like amazing.
It's like if you're playing anyone who plans on healing as a cleric, you're gonna have like at least 4 extra spells at your highest spell level for Divine Font.
And that also gets rid of one of the most annoying things I've done in like 5e healing, or just healing in any RPG, to be honest. Like, oh shit, I want to cast this cool spell, but what if I need to heal someone? No, you just have dedicated healing things. You can get a little more flexible with what you spend your spell slots on. If you just have free heal casts.
Yeah, it's literally what everyone would want. It makes playing a cleric not the, oh, I'm the heal bot of the party, hi, how are you? Like, you can still have your cool divine spells in addition to heal. And not only that, but the heals in this game are just per level more efficient. And there's so many times where one heal spell will set a character up for like 2 extra rounds of combat.
Yeah,
And then, as Alex
it's
mentioned
nuts.
before, there's a lot of feats that make it better. Healing Hands is another one where it just changes your heal spell from D8s to D10s.
Yeah,
But even better, the 2-action heal also goes from +8 to +10 as well. So even without relying on like the random chance of dice, like you're still healing 10 per spell level on top of what you're rolling for the
yeah,
dice. Nuts.
absolutely
Absolutely
nuts.
nuts. Yeah. Just oh man, I like, and the thing is, it's variable casting. So if you are next to someone and they're not that damaged, or you just have a very high heal slot because you get a heal slot at your highest spell level, like, oh, okay, let me just use a 1-action 5th level heal on you. I got 3 more for the day. Like, you can then do stuff with your turn, If your character's hasted, you can still just have a full turn pretty much with that. It's... I don't know what to say other than, like, holy shit. It's really, really good. You can... And not only that, but the heals are so impactful. There's a lot of good healing spells. Soothing Bell, I think, is one for bards.
Maybe Soothing Ballad.
Oh, I think there's 2. There's an actual, let's see, one of their muses gives them...
Oh, is that the I know there is a healing like song they have.
Yeah, Soothe.
Soothe.
Soothe is an occult specific, so your bard can help with the healing. You give the target 1d10 plus 4 HP, plus they also gain a +2 status bonus against saves against mental effects for a minute.
Amazing. If
That's
that
a
comes
level
up,
1
that's
spell.
really handy. Another
And
one
its
I
healing
found.
is like comparable to the heal spell as well.
Yeah, there's the one I mentioned, the Soothing Ballad. It's targets you and up to 9 allies. Choose one of the following 3 effects. Spell attempts to counteract fear effects. The spell attempts to counteract effects imposing paralysis. Fucking a blessing. That is a godsend. And the spell restores 7d8 hit points to the target. Yeah, it's a focus 7 like spell, but that's
Which
like
means you get it at
good.
level 14.
It's good. Like that's
Yeah.
a good spell to have. Like especially the fact that like if you're that high level and coming across it, paralysis is fucking nuts and can ruin you. So being able to end paralysis on up to 9 people, that could save you.
There's a lot going on, and yeah, thank you, Rylan. That was very, very helpful for the information you gave. I always like getting new information, and that's just one of those rules that kind of slip under the radar. I think honestly it can be played either way without skewing the game too hard, but it's one of the things where I'll try playing it by the rules from now on, and if I feel like it's a little too limiting, I'll remove it, but it's just one of those cool features. And thank you, I appreciate it. But yeah, so going on about, everything we've been talking about so far as like healing and everything like that. Actually, speaking of Rylan, we were talking in one of my Druid video, and they corrected me that technically for good berry, you have to have the berries in your hand to use the interact action. So it's essentially the same action economy as drinking a potion. And honestly, I enjoy the idea more of the fighter or the barbarian shoving their hand in their pouch or pocket and just pulling out a bunch of berries and just scarfing them down as a single action. I think the imagery is just fucking hilarious.
I mean, it is very funny.
It's just
Goodberry's very.
he's just like, what's he doing? He's eating blueberries and just like,
Why is he getting stronger?
It's like his wounds are healing.
That I actually should look at like what Goodberry does for Druid, because you know, Druid's the one
Goodberry's
class.
so good.
Druid's the one class I have never looked into. I won't get into the discussion again. I won't shit on nature magic for an entire episode, I swear.
I know. But like Goodberry's so good. Goodberry literally, as you upgrade it, it pretty much just allows it just turns the Goodberry into a better and better potion as it heightens. Because as it heightens, it increases the number of berries you can consume with a single action. So every level I think is like an additional like D6 or something like that.
So a higher level, you can have the handful of berries that you just.
So a higher level, you can just eat a whole bunch of berries as an action, and it'll give you like 5d6 HP.
I gotta say that is way more interesting as a spell or like an ability or whatever than like the 5e Goodberry, because like that's helpful if your DM is gonna track that shit. I personally, as a DM, I think tracking food is fucking annoying, so I would never give my druids a chance to use Goodberry. So like that makes it helpful, like the Pathfinder version.
Also, I love the idea of the druid just enchanting a bunch of tomatoes because they're technically berries.
you know that makes the just I'm higher level. You can eat more of them. Like you're holding 5 tomatoes. Like those are whole tomatoes too, not cherry tomatoes. I can't eat all that.
Oh, it's so good. Oh, really I love it. You want tomatoes so far? Please, no. I so far need so much healing, but please, no.
Good lord.
It's so good. And the best part is, it's just one berry in your hand, so you can change it up. You can be a connoisseur of good berries if you really want to, you know? It's so good. But yeah, there's like, if you can't tell, if you're watching an hour into the stream already and you can't tell, healing in Pathfinder is just worlds different. I couldn't even talk for 5 minutes about healing in 5th edition in a good light. Like, there's just nothing to it. It's just heal. Or maybe, like, the one unicorn spell you can get, where, like, you produce, like, a spirit animal. I can't remember what it's called at this moment. But, like, every person it moves through gets healed HP. And it's mostly, like, an out-of-combat heal.
There's a paladin aura that, like, you can use that has, like, you get a certain amount of healing every turn. And it's really the best use for it is like if people are dropping like flies around you, because they'll just get right back up. Like it's nice, it's high level, it's like a 4th, 5th level spell. It's not the best at all. Even like the paladin lay on hands, it's handy, but like not as good as the Pathfinder lay on hands. Like yeah,
and not only that, but like. There's also regen in this game as well.
Oh yeah, there is. Yeah, it doesn't come up that much from like any games I've been in, but
like there's a witch spell that lets you regenerate 2 HP every round, and I think it increases every so many levels, or it's like 4 HP every round. There's also a lot of really good like temporary hit point spells in Pathfinder 2e. Hell, the fucking Magus in Inexorable Iron just gives them temporary HP every round. It's really good.
Yeah.
Like the damage prevention is there. It's accessible by everyone. Any class can be a healer. Any character can just pick up battle medicine at level 1. Hell, even if you wanted to change the way you do battle medicine, you can pick up natural healing and roll your nature rather than your medicine skill.
Yeah.
And then there's a alchemist feat, which I think is called, oh god, what was it? I was gonna take it in my build. There's an alchemist one, and I won't bore you with the details, but it essentially allows you to, instead of using medicine, you use your crafting for your healing checks instead.
You know, I really like those abilities in Pathfinder. It's very nice to have the feats that are like, you can make this skill check with the skill you're good at. That's always fun. Like the one
Hymn
I
of
see all the time is
Healing.
the acrobatic performance or whatever.
Hymn of Healing, also really good.
Yeah.
Another bard one that gives regen.
Here's a fun one. Life-giving form. You transcend your physical form, becoming a beacon of healing energy. You can touch a living creature with an interact action to restore 68 hit points. And when a creature touches you with the interact action, you can allow it to gain the same healing. And also you can just, use it to fuck up undead. Because say you just pop this ability. It's a focus 6 oracle thing. Yeah, you just pop this in the middle of a bunch of zombies. They're all making unarmed attacks at you. They're taking damage the whole time.
And that's also another thing as well, just how Pathfinder has established that positive heal hurts undead. And so there's a lot of different flavors of just ways you can heal and hurt at the same time. Now, I will state on that note, not all positive spells damage undead. If your spell does positive healing, it does not actually damage undead unless the spell says so. Similarly, negative healing does not heal from all sources of negative damage, only from negative spells that say that they heal undead targets. So, just rule fact for the day. That's a very easily misconstrued rule, but nonetheless, a good number of spells in Pathfinder do just tell you can heal or hurt undead with this spell. So you can heal living or hurt undead with this spell, depending on what you do, including Paladin lay on, or Champion lay on hands.
Yeah.
Also, I will say this isn't a healing thing as much as the cleric thing, but the divine font can also be used for the harm spell.
Yeah, harm.
And that's such a dirty spell, especially when you take channeled font, I think it's called, or channeled something, I can't remember. But it allows you to specify targets for your harm or healing spell. So if you do it for your harm spell, you just become a harm nuke that damages all enemies in a 30-foot radius around you while sparing your allies.
See, yeah, I wanted to. If I played cleric, I'd play a harm cleric, because that sounds more fun.
There's also variable fonts, ones where you can get both. So, yeah, the god has to give both. So whatever god you pick has to give both. Mostly neutral deities, but you can get the variable font.
Okay.
So, but like I said, if you're still listening, you know that healing is awesome in Pathfinder, and there's a lot of ways to do it. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna start with at least my build for a healer, and then Alex is gonna give us his sorry excuse for a build that he's been doing all stream. So, my healer is a reverse divine healer, and what I mean by that is, rather than a divine healing class, I picked a non-divine healing class that then picks up divine healing abilities to make them better. I picked a human ASMR for one really good reason. One, human is a really, really good ancestry in general. You can get extra feats through it. You can get extra skill proficiencies for it. You can make the character what you want, but most importantly, at level 9, you can pick up an ancestry feat that lets you pick a multi-class archetype as an ancestry feat, more or less. So I picked human so I could take cleric at level 9 without having to sacrifice any of my feats from alchemist is the one I picked. And ASMR I picked because I pulled up here. ASMR I pulled up because they get certain abilities like Halo, which is really, really good, but what I really wanted was Blessed Blood, because you can use your blood to create holy water, which damages fiends, undead, and other creatures that are vulnerable to good damage.
And
you get a plus
when they hit you.
No. You can make it as a part of your crafting. And what I like about this is normally you can't make holy water unless you have magic item crafting. This bypasses that. This also gives you a +4 circumstance bonus when you're crafting the holy water, which makes it good. And it's a bomb. And guess what class gets a lot of benefits from bombs?
Alchemist.
That's Alchemist, yeah. Good job.
Yeah.
You guessed.
Yeah.
So, Alchemist, I was going to go with Chirurgeon. It's a really easy research field to pick in this situation. Because Chirurgeon lets you make additional potions of life at the beginning of the day when you hit level 5. So each batch, so you get a number of batches equal to your level +1, I want to say. Let me double check real quick. And to be fair, I haven't done a super ton of research on them yet. I will be in the future when I'm making a video for them. But let's see here. When you make your daily, you make a number of infusions. Your level plus your intelligence modifier. So, an alchemist at level 1 can make 1 plus intelligence modifier. Typically, you're boosting your intelligence to the max, so that's 4, so that's 5, right? And then when you make potions during your daily preparations, you can make batches of 2 per infusion, which means a level 1 character with a 18 in their intelligence can make 10 potions at level 1. Going to level 5 here, this character could make 5 plus intelligence modifier, 9, and then they can multiply that by 3 for lesser life potions. So you can make 27 potions at level 5.
Good lord.
But wait, we're not done. This build gets even better.
Oh boy.
I picked Chirurgeon because obvious choice. I can make a bunch of potions at the beginning of the day and still have some infused reagents available for later in the day. But I also pick the Quick Bomber feat. Let's see, do you get a feat at level 1? Yes, you do. You get the Quick Bomber feat. So this character will just make a bunch of bombs in their spare time, like with their blood, if the need be, if they know they're going to be fighting some evil creatures. And Quick Bomber, what it lets you do is pull a bomb out of your satchel and throw it as an action.
Handy.
For those who have used Alchemist or any alchemical bombs in any Pathfinder game up until this point, you will know immediately how good that is, because standardly it's an action to pull the bomb out of your pouch and then an action to throw it. Being able to just pick a bomb out and throw it means you can throw 3 bombs in a round. Not only that, but as long as you don't critically fail, most bombs still do splash damage to the target anyway, so you're still guaranteed to do damage. Michael's message is on YouTube, that's why.
Yeah, multi-stream.
Yeah, multi-stream. Big call out to my YouTube watchers. I really appreciate you guys. You're the ones who are really helping me on that platform as well. But hey, if you're all watching the stream, at least you can talk to each other through the stream, so that works. Anyway, continuing on. Quick Bomber, super good. Level 2 feat. It was a bit of a hard choice. There's not a lot of healing feats really early in the game. So I was going to take the Alchemical Familiar because the Homunculus Familiar you get through it can have infused reagents in its body, giving you, I think, 2 more in a day. I'll double check real quick. Let's see. What was the feature called? Extra reagent. Here we go. You gain an additional, just 1 additional batch per day inside your familiar. But because of how you prep your potions, that means 2 more potions in the day for free just for picking up that feat. On top of that, continuing along, level 4 healing bomb, as was already mentioned in chat, which is you just make your elixirs and you just chuck them at people, and as long as the target is willing, even if you fail the strike check to hit them, you'll still hit them with it. And if sorry,
it's just a healing splash potion from Minecraft.
It's a healing splash potion. Yeah, exactly. You chuck it, and if you crit hit, they also get the item bonus to disease and poisons, as per standard with their elixirs. But wait, there's more. There's so many good feats here. Level 6 doesn't really have anything. You could really do anything with that. You could pick up another art class dedication if you really wanted to with that. There's none here that were really worth me mentioning. So you could take Revivifying Mutagen, where if you have a mutagen effect on you, you can consume it and gain fast healing. But nothing really came out to me at that level that was really worth mentioning. Level 8, you can get, let's see here. Let's see here. Perpetual Breath is really, really good because there's a class feature called Perpetual Infusions where your character can make a infinite number of a particular potion or a particular alchemical item. It's always at like a really lesser version or whatever. Yeah. But still, you can still make an infinite number, and Perpetual Breath allows you to take from Bomber Lesser Acid Flask, Lesser Alchemist Fire, Lesser Bottled Lightning, Lesser Frost. You essentially can pick a lesser bomb, and you're able to make an infinite number of those if you so need to. Or if your character is orientated more towards mutagens, you can pick from a pretty good list of mutagens. All honesty, like in all honesty. And then the last... Oh, wait, wasn't there the one where you could mix... Am I crazy? There was one where you can mix your... Oh. That's right. I missed one. I don't know why I didn't notice. Level 6. I was wrong. There was one that was really, really good at level 6. It's called Combine Elixirs. You just take 2 potions, smash them together, and the target who drinks it gets the effects of both.
That's amazing.
That's really awesome. Good. So you can be like, here, ally. And it doesn't have to be 2 different ones either. So you can do 2 elixirs of life. Or...
my old healing potion.
Yeah, or you can get a buffing potion and just be like, here, Here's a lesser dark vision elixir, along with lesser eagle eye.
That's
And
super
and the thing is, it's used with your quick alchemy, so you can do this in combat.
cool. Ooh, okay. Okay, that's pretty cool.
That's really, really, really good. I can't
Lord.
believe I missed that. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you know, this is really interesting having you explain this to me because, on one hand, cool healer thing. Also, you're explaining some of the cool shit alchemists can do because I am too small brained to understand that class. There is so much I just don't understand.
Yeah, it's definitely not a class I would recommend for beginners, for sure. But Alchemist is really, really solid. And we're setting these builds to level 10 just to make it easier, so we're not doing a whole level 20 build.
I didn't do that.
And not only that, but we're also kind of foregoing general feats and skill feats, unless they're particularly relevant to yours. Obviously, with this build, I was going to go with Battle Medicine and a list of other, like, Battle Medicine related feats as well as some good crafting ones that can really help out with the build in general. But the last feat I want to talk about from Alchemist anyway is Merciful Elixir. Merciful Elixir is really, really great because it's a quick alchemy action. You add it to an elixir of life and you attempt to counteract one fear effect or one effect imposing paralysis to the drinker of the potion. And this can upgrade to Greater Merciful Elixir much later, level 14, which can cure blind, deafened, sickened, or slowed.
Well, I certainly would appreciate something that can cure sickened.
Yeah, and the thing is that most of the time, when you get affected by these effects anyway, you're taking damage in order to do so, like a ghoul attack or something like that. So this potion is just like, here, drink this, you'll feel better. You get healed and you're no longer paralyzed, you know. There's a lot of good features for it. There's a lot of good mixing with it. But wait, this build has even more secrets in it than I mentioned before. Because not only do you get like the ASMR Blessed Blood feature, which allows you to you know, make holy bombs. Like, the character I'm making here is an ASMR human who's not a divine caster, but is such a good healer that the gods even bless their healing abilities. With the level 9 human feature that lets you take multi-classing for cleric, at level 12, you can take the archetype dedication feat to pick up a cleric feat. And hey, I mentioned it earlier in this very chat, there is magic hands, so that even the battle medicine you do in a round just gets max rolled if you wanted another source of healing from this one character. But wait, there's more. I'll tell you, I've packed a lot of healing into this one class because this is what we're all here for. But as an additional, we in my games we use the option roll for archetype dedication feats. And I have a certain stipulation that you can't use multi-class for these extra feats you get every even level. And you would think, oh, well, then he'll probably end up taking Medic, because Medic is really, really good, and it amplifies Battle Medicine. Wrong. Blessed. The Blessed Archetype Dedication, which gives you Lay on Hands when you take it. So at level 2, you get Lay on Hands. And then on top of that, you can take Mercy. And my god, your Lay on Hands ability just gets better, better, better. It starts healing for more as you're leveling up. You start removing effects for it. You can get such feats as like Accelerating Touch, where if you Lay on Hands someone, not only will they get a +2 to their AC, but they'll also get a +10 status bonus to their speed until the end of their next turn.
Damn. God, There's so much you can do for this class. Good lord, man.
There's a lot for this one build, and the thing is, a lot of what I've said also, there's just other options. You can style this character however you want. My idea for this character is an ASMR human who doesn't like relying on their divine abilities to heal. They're very science-y, they're very no bullshit, you know, they don't like divine healing if they can't, you know, if they can help it. But when push comes to shove and when lives are on the line, they'll utilize their God-given gifts and heal people with magic. They start experimenting with their own body, seeing how their own even blood and other body fluids can be turned into potions and such. They even can like experiment with other stuff, and who knows, Inventor might come out with some similar kind of features coming up in Guns and Gears here in like a week or so, 2 weeks.
Yeah, like honestly.
So this is my reverse divine healer, a character who's not a divine healer but then gains divine abilities so that it further enforces their divine abilities. Plus you can just throw bombs at your allies and heal them, and what game wouldn't be great without those kind of effects?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like character you made. That is, I would like to see them in play one day, just to see the fucking insane turn that would be. Just I make this, I throw this, I give you this, I add this. So much
Yes.
detail.
And just like the extra bomber feats and everything like that, because in combat they're just like chucking alchemist fire, chucking other things. The enemy has like 15 persistent damage effects on them.
Yeah.
And then they're healing them, and then the enemy's like trying to put the fire out on their body. Like, this character just sucks to deal with, because not only is he like whittling you down, because also splash damage. Splash damage is guaranteed damage as long as the enemy isn't resistant to the type of damage.
Yeah.
So even if the character's missing, they're still damaging the enemy. It's just chipping away at them, while they're also keeping their allies alive. And even like spacing them or like taking them away or cutting them off doesn't do anything, because they can throw a bomb like 30 feet away and hit their ally. It's really good. There's also bomber's glasses, or bomber's goggles you can get, which actually adds to your bomb attacks for throwing bombs specifically. And these healing potions become bombs when you turn them into bombs. So, you know, like, I made a bomber without making a bomber. Yeah. I think, which I think is really cool.
Sounds fun. Like, that is a cool thing. Bomber stuff looks fun, honestly. I can see myself sitting down just to learn how to play bomber. So
I mean, you learned how to do key in anima. You can do anything.
I can. Yeah, you're right. That's a pretty good litmus test for how much you're able to like.
It really is. Crunch. Just like if you can make a build in anima, you're pretty set, because my god. Honestly. Spreadsheets, all the spreadsheets. But I've given you enough time, Alex. Give us your half-ass build you've done.
Yes.
During this whole time.
So I will not say, oh wait, there's more. I don't think I'll say that once here. So I just made a very simple little twist on something fun. I made a cleric, though I do heal things, just like not people. I made a necromancer cleric. A cleric that specifically works to raise undead, control the undead, and heal them. And they're also a dampier. So their whole healing, doing negative damage and healing things that can take negative damage also applies to him. He has the undead domain feat, which gives him some fun stuff. The touch of undead initial domain power. Let's see, what else can he do? Gave him, there's some fun feats that he gets. Harming hands, instead of D8s is D10s for harm. Command undead, which is a class feat. Harmful font and an evil alignment. If the next action you use is to cast harm, targeting one undead creature, you transform the effects of that harm spell. Instead of harm's normal effects, the target becomes controlled by you. If its level is equal to or lower than your level, -3, it can attempt a will saving throw to resist being controlled. If it fails, it becomes a minion under your control. It lasts a minute and it's dismissed. If it crit fails, that minion status lasts for an hour. Then there's also a few just basic things. I just gave some ancestry feats that there's not a lot that benefit just, helping out the undead, but just kind of make the character a bit more undead. So they're just a little more resistant to disease because they're undead. If it's necrotic infusion's pretty interesting. You pour negative energy into your undead subject to empower their attack. If the next action you use is to cast harm to restore hit points to a single undead creature, the target then deals an additional 1d6 negative energy with its melee weapons and unarmed attack till the end of its next turn. The entire character is built around casting harm and getting as many buffs to harm as it goes on. And even then, once it gets to level 8, selective energy, so he can actually use burst harm and block allies that would take damage from it, which does help. It is pretty cool. But yeah, at least up to level 10, the only last thing really he gets is improved command undead. Undead creatures find it all but impossible to resist your commands. When you use command undead, if the undead succeeds at its save but doesn't critically succeed, it is your minion for a round. If the undead fails, it is a minion for 10 minutes. If a crit fails, it's 24 hours. And the only other thing is a bunch of spells. There's a lot of really cool necromancer spells that I didn't get to read through entirely because I was, trying to listen to you. And if I just sat there reading, I would have just zoned out for a good little bit. But there's some fun ones. I mean, Animate Dead's always fun. General Repose. That and Good Lord, the really high-level spells are always super fun. I really need to see if they've added any new ones. Most I see for a necromancy one is the Wail of the Banshee, which each living enemy in the area takes 8d10 negative damage and must take a fortitude save. So essentially it is, this entire character is healing the undead, damaging the living. It is a healer, but, just for other things. Because this is the type of cleric I would play.
And that's fair. I don't know too much, especially because I haven't played 5th edition too much, even like before Tasha's came out. I know Tasha's added a bunch of things. I don't think 5th edition has a lot of rules for healing undead creatures.
No. Most there is there's the new necromancy stuff, but it's summon undead because Tasha added a bunch of summon spells. There's some interesting stuff for necromancy in 5e, but not very much. And it's kind of just bare bones surface level. It's you can control an undead. There you go. There's nothing that's heal your undead. These heal specifically undead that I think of. Oh, is there actually a spell that heals undead? Because I haven't read it. If there is,
there is in 5e for sure.
Okay, yeah, because I certainly haven't seen one. But from what I've seen, there aren't very many interesting necromancy stuff 5e gets. Going through just the necromancy cleric I've made, the cleric of undeath, there are some fun abilities you get. And some fun things, and just playing a necromancer that just kind of hides behind your minions sounds like a pretty cool time.
Yeah, and I'll also say there is a magical consumable item in Pathfinder called Potions of, or Oil of Unlife, actually, which works the same for undead as it does for normal characters, but there's a twist. It's an oil, not an elixir. Oh. So the creature does not need to be able to consume it to get the benefits.
Which, to be fair, can't really ask a skeleton to eat something,
Exactly. Or whatever other flesh warp monster you make.
Makes sense.
You don't need to install mouths, because now you can just lather on the oil on life. But that's another thing, is Pathfinder also gives you the option of selecting if the whole party wanted negative healing, it's not that big of a stretch to do it. And not only that, but you could all be Dampfires and be Dampfires of different flavors. Because it's a heritage, you can pick other ancestries to go with it.
Oh yeah, totally. There's a lot of freedom with that, and like playing Divinity. If you're playing a multiplayer Divinity game, audience at home, legitimately one of the best strategies you can have is make sure all of your characters are undead. Like, that is a really helpful thing to have, and you can do that in Pathfinder. I'm curious how effective it would be. Like, if it would, how much, like, extra damage you'd be taking. But honestly, it's kind of cool.
Well, and that's the thing, in Pathfinder, as far as I know, healing is almost straight across the board, like the same effective, negative or positive, with the few exceptions. Spells like Soothing Mist don't really exist in a negative format, but like most of the like harm spell, for instance, heals as much for undead as healing does for living. There's just a lot of different, there's like potions that do the same, more or less. Like, there's just a lot. And this is something that I wanted to really share with all of you, which is just, if you want to play a really fun healer, consider playing Pathfinder 2nd Edition. It gives you a lot of options, and I was so excited to see a non-divine caster be a really good healer in one of my games. It was something that was always like really, really wanted in 5e, and you just couldn't do it. And then here comes Pathfinder 2nd Edition, and they're like, oh hey, look, we're gonna give you a class that can do non-magical healing. And even something that's cooler than all of that, there are effects that can change what kind of healing works better for your character than others. In our Wednesday game, A New Slate, now that it's done, one of the characters had a negative healing effect where they got less healing from non-magical sources, which means Alchemist Elixir of Life potions would do less, as would Battle Medicine. While in our Tuesday game, we have a character that we have a character who has a half negative healing aspects, and they get half the benefit from magical healing effects. But that does mean they can still take potions of life and battle medicine and still heal the full amount. Like, that's such an interesting amount of variability in healing and like character reasons. Like, why is magic healing not as good for your character or another? Why can you only really use non-magical healing? Like, that's so flavorful story-wise. And yeah, Vile got half healing from non-magical sources when they were under the effects of their moderate curse.
Yeah, that's like there's a lot of interesting healing modifiers, and like that is a really fun debuff, honestly. Like it and also for Val's character, it fit really well, and it was disgusting to hear it like described. Also, yeah, just reading through the chat here, the YouTube's like 30 minutes behind. What the fuck?
Well, maybe they might have also gone further back. I'm not 100% sure.
I don't know.
On that, I don't think it's that far behind.
I clicked on the YouTube, and it seems like it's a big delay. So, YouTube
Here,
audience,
1 second,
if anything fun happens in the future, I'll let you know. How does it feel listening from the past? I will get an answer for a while, but when
yeah, we'll have to see. I clapped like a little bit ago. We're gonna see how it goes. I think it's coming up now, which means it's about like 45 seconds behind, about to a minute.
I mean, that's a big delay.
It's not 30 minutes.
That's fair.
But yeah, that's a pretty big one nonetheless. There's a bit of a delay, yeah.
Yeah.
It's about a minute or so. Yeah, unfortunately, YouTube is just not quite at the same level as Twitch as far as like stream. So, you know, you're just gonna have to deal with it, unfortunately. But you're not missing anything all too much. We are paying attention, and I will answer, even if it's like delayed for you. I try to answer as much as I can. And yeah, holly berries and mistletoe berries are technically berries, but they're also poisonous. So I don't know if that would be a really good addition, but you know, like I said, I still like the idea of forcing someone to eat 5 tomatoes.
It's great.
It's too good. Finley has a close association with the negative energy plane, and so they have like a partial negative healing effect, and which means that they take half the amount of healing from positive sources, which most magical potions are positive healing.
I just made a discovery.
Share it with us.
So, you know what is also technically a berry?
Oh, no.
Pumpkin.
It has to be held in your hands.
Yeah, I could hold a pumpkin in my hand.
You can hold a small pumpkin in your hand.
I mean, are you saying as a DM you wouldn't allow your druid to be like, quick healing, and pull out 5 pumpkins and hand it to like the barbarian?
Only because I don't like to have to stop a session to look how much pumpkin someone can eat before they die from too much pumpkin.
They're magic pumpkins. It'll be
They're
fine.
magic pumpkins. Here, barbarian, eat them all. You know what? Only if he can do it in 6 seconds.
That's what makes it better. Like, here you go. Eat these pumpkins. What? Excuse me? Trust me, do it. It just fucking scarfs it down in a few seconds.
It's just immediate immersion break. The barbarian sits there, time pauses, a Skyrim menu pops up, and he just keeps spamming pumpkin.
Eats 100 wheels of cheese.
100 wheels of cheese.
Pineapples, watermelons, they're all technically berries.
That's true.
That
That's
is
true.
great.
We've taken good berry and we've tainted it.
We've made it better, I think you mean.
I agree, actually. I still enjoy the idea of just as an action, you just shove your hand in your pocket and just scarf down a bunch of berries.
It's really good.
It's really, really good. Scribble's ideas for A-lead. A-lead. There's a lot. Yeah, so I guess now we're just kind of at a free chat point. We've gone over the builds. I've gone over pretty much like everything in Pathfinder I can think of. Besides like naming very specific items. Like Devin and I found a really good low-level item. They're called Gloves of Healing. And they're hidden OP. I think they're like a level 5 item, if I'm not mistaken. I'll double check. But they pretty much come with a built-in Lay on Hands effect. But not exactly Lay on Hands. Healer's Glove, level 4.
Yeah,
You can get this for 80 gold pieces. You wear them, and once per day, as a single action, you can restore 2d6 plus 7 HP to a creature.
Yeah, hell yeah. I think I remember, didn't Peak have healer's gloves?
Yes.
Yeah. That's where I recognize it from. That's where I recognize it, and it was very good. It is a good item.
It's a really, really good item. And it also gives you a bonus to medicine checks. So, like,
yeah,
it's
another
like for my
bonus.
alchemist build that I made, just an additional item to make it even better. Like, like at this point, all the DM should be sweating because they're like, "Oh God, there's so much healing in this game. How am I gonna threaten my players?" Trust me, DMs, you can threaten your players just fine. You don't need to worry. If anything, this just means you can throw more shit at them.
Honestly.
But if you have any questions or if you have any like build ideas, you can put them in the chat now. We'll kind of answer those and just kind of chill here for the last bit of the stream. I've really enjoyed Pathfinder. I'm glad that we've had this Goodberry story explosion on stream. It's really good.
I honestly,
Good fungus.
I hope like in the future, like or just in general, it'd be very funny to see at least an animation of scarfing down Goodberry, like pumpkins.
Scarfing down, yeah, good pumpkins. Or good fungus. There's there's so many fun things, and like I said, the berries are comparable to potions pretty much.
Yeah.
At each level, so like as much as fun as we were talking about it is, it's still super viable, honestly, as like as an additional way of just having a little bit of extra healing going on. And there's so many ways to reflavor cleric in this game. I'll be making a video for Saturday. We're gonna be talking about cleric and why clerics are awesome. And there's just so many good ways to make cleric really badass while still like having the potential to be a really good support at the same time. Domain spells are really interesting, but your gods also give you like spells from other spell lists. And you can even pick up additional like purviews as well.
Yeah, the domain stuff's like my favorite bit of cleric. Like how many domains there are. Clerics are super customizable, which is what makes them really interesting. Like I've looked into them like a few different times because like whenever a new book comes out, or like a few new books come out, I like checking on cleric to see what the new stuff is. Like if they got any new domains. It's like it's super fun. Like how many there are, like especially compared to when I first got into Pathfinder.
And yeah, and like I said, and like we saw like during the Magus Summoner chat we had, like I was talking about Alchemist, and you're sitting there like, huh, I actually think Alchemist is really cool now because you get these cool features in it, and it's like that's what we're here for. That's what I'm doing. That's why I'm making these videos. I want to show off the game to people, and I want to make people hyped for playing certain games. You know?
Yeah.
I don't mean to steal people away from 5e. But like, if I steal you from 5e, it means that you saw that there's more in this game than, 5e's obviously given you.
Yeah, and like that'll definitely be a trend. I have my preset opinions that I refuse to change until someone overtly shows me I'm wrong, except for, nature magic being nature magic. I refuse to
I've
change.
already done that twice to you, Alex.
You've done it twice. And you know what? I think it's coming around. Soon you're going to tell me a class. You're going to tell me about a class I think is cool. But you know what? At the end, I'm going to hate it. That's coming up. I feel it on the air. I feel it in the winds. Getting that vibe. It's going to happen.
Well,
it needs to balance the universe.
We'll have to see. Goodness. There's so much, and just like I said, there's already 3 classes with built-in healer options, with Bard being like a 4th one technically. Even though there's not a straight healing Bard build, you can take spells like Soothe or Soothing Ballad or Healing Hymn. Healing Hymn's really good because it gives fast healing for up to 4 rounds.
Yeah.
Like
good. Like I was trying to look through our Nethys, like especially like seeing all the healing stuff, and the battle medicine seemed like the big one. I think it'd be fun if every class had some form of like battle medicine augmentation, because that just kind of cool. Especially, I mean, you can already kind of skip it.
They made a whole archetype about it.
Okay.
The medic archetype does that.
That's fair. Yeah, I didn't know about that. I didn't know there's an
Yeah.
archetype for it. I'm not surprised to hear that.
It's a really good archetype. You can throw it on to literally any character, and bam, you instantly got flavor. You instantly got like a background for your character. Like, why is your character trained as a medic? What could they do? Gives them like that war aesthetic you can go for. There's a lot. And yeah, technically everyone can take battle medicine.
I looked at the medic dedication, and immediately the first one you can get stride and then use battle medicine.
Yeah.
For an action, or to spend 2 actions to stride and then administer first aid or treat a condition. Good lord, yeah.
And yeah, herbalist is also a dark horse when it comes to healing, because it's essentially the nature version of medic in a lot of ways. And there's in like Rylan here is saying, the dedications like medic comes with this like aesthetic of like, oh, is he like a court medic? Is he like a tournament medic? Is he like or are they like a battlefield medic? And then there's herbalists, you know, like how did they learn their things? Did they go into the forest and just eat a bunch of mushrooms and trip out until they eventually ate some that made them feel better, and then they started down the path of being a herbalist? Who knows? Soothing Mist is not a nature spell. No, it's a ranger spell. Granted, it could be seen as a nature spell because it comes from rangers.
And rangers are kind of naturey.
They are. In fact, warden spells are primal spells, so they are actually indeed nature. What is a nature spell? A nature spell is primal. There you go. So it is actually a nature spell.
Oh shit. Alright. I just got notified something cool. This is absolutely no one's gonna give a shit, but I got distracted for a second because I saw that they just added the Guilty Gear Strive music on Spotify.
Ooh.
Which there's really good songs on there, so give that a listen, y'all.
Sorry we kind of petered out. Honestly, I spent a bunch of energy just being super hyped about all the
we kind
of
just yelled about healing for a little bit.
Also, Alex only gave us like 5 minutes of a character per
sometimes simple is good. Sometimes you make something like small, and I don't like that you're insulting this. This is the character I spent a week making. Like, definitely.
It was your idea! It was your idea, come on!
I spent a week making this character that I only picked the class feats for. So, kind of a toxic environment you're making.
Only for you. Only for you. You're the martyr to this channel.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I will refuse to promise to make builds for future videos, is what I've learned. Because I may do it just if I hear the topic and I like it, but if I promise, mostly gonna be disappointed. Because I can and will forget.
It's okay. And also, 50 gold pieces!
50 gold!
50 gold!
You need to clip that at least. Just you screaming about that.
I should. I'll probably get that done as soon as we're done with this. And what do you think of Summoner as a healer? So Summoner's still relatively new, and I'm still like digesting a lot of what Summoner has. What's their spell list?
Yeah, because I think there might be some summoner stuff for healer. Like, I think there was a thing for it, like one of those like path things, or like the Eidolon you can summon. I'm double checking the.
Their spell list is based on their Eidolon.
Okay, and I mean for the Eidolon, I mean there is an angel one.
What I can tell you is Summoner makes really good tanks. We kind of discussed this in the Summoner part, or in the Summoner chat we had a while ago. Because the Eidolon and the Summoner share HP, the Eidolon can be out in combat dealing damage and such, and the Summoner can be planted right next to the healer of the party and be healed, and them being healed will heal the Eidolon as well. So you have a very sturdy you have a very, very sturdy income. But that's only as far as like tanking is concerned. Because their spell list is based on the type of island they have, they do get access to some healing spells. I mean, they get access to heal pretty much, or like soothe and anything like that. The only problem is that Summoner only gets a maximum of 4 spell slots.
Yeah,
Which,
and
to be fair, that's
looking,
4 rounds of combat, technically.
true. And at least looking through, like, because I made a summoner up to level 10, there's like, I mean, I assume unless you have like advanced some spells, there's not a lot of healing stuff, like spells that are an access to this. I mean, I assume you can just heighten like a cure wounds or whatever, or like heal, but like, I mean, yeah, I just quickly checked over like the Eidolon for Angel. It's divine stuff, and divine spellcasting has a lot of options for healing and support. Then also a lot of damage for undead. I don't know. I kind of view them as like an interest, like a way to deal some damage. Like tank is honestly the way I see it. Tank or like just kick some ass. So they don't look like they got a crazy amount of healing stuff, but I mean, you could probably make them too. Like if you really got around it.
And yeah, Slug is right. All their spells become signature spells, so all their spells can be heightened.
Yeah, I think the summoner plus medic archetype is actually a pretty good way to go.
Yeah, I can't call it an actual healer because
I couldn't either.
The premise is just like, oh, you know, you can heal you and your island. It's not like you become as good of a healer as a medic can be, which is substantial. We just went over this whole video, this whole chat talking about how you can do non-conventional healing methods rather effectively. You pick up alchemy, pick up alchemist dedication, you know, the medic archetype. It's really, really good. Even you being able to use battle medicine on you and your island, you know, 4 times in a combat is pretty good. And I wouldn't even say is anything kind of like especially broken because
sounds like you're playing a summoner with healing, not a healing summoner, you know?
Yeah, that would be my opinion on it. Is you're just a tankier. You're playing tank summoner essentially just by having a lot of healing potential. Not saying that you can't have a summoner build with an aesthetic and with like a story based on being like a medic, and I think that's really cool. I think that's a really good idea because like the medic themselves is not particularly strong. So while your island is out defending people, you know, your angel island or you know whatever, your character can be running over and suturing people up and all kinds of stuff, making a really interesting narrative for that way. So I think it's not an especially strong healer considering other classes actually get benefits for healing. But I think story-wise and like RP potential-wise, the summoner healer is really, really good.
Yeah, just thinking about it, like playing a character that's almost like a battle medic, like the ones you'd see in like World War I, World War II, while like a guardian angel or something is like giving them space to work. That like honestly, it seems like a character that like build wise, meh, not like gonna be crazy like S tier or whatever. But like you can make a really cool character out of that, and like with really interesting roleplay potential. So I mean, like,
Yeah.
yeah, if you want to play an interesting character, go with it. I mean, I always like believe prioritize a good character over a good build. Like that's
Well,
kind of
yeah,
what
because like your character aesthetic and like the story behind your character is honestly what the game is about.
And
Like,
if your
don't let
DM's
anyone
nice
tell you
enough,
your build is bad.
yeah, don't let anyone. And if your DM's cool enough and nice enough, they will help you be good. Like that's what a good DM should do. They should help. Like, oh, I have a really cool character idea. They're not like crazy meta, but like a good DM will help you make a really cool character and like cool and do all the things you want to do.
Exactly. And kind of another thing to add as well, I just remembered, you can give your Edlon spells. So technically you can get more healing slots that way as well.
Oh, I guess, yeah. That would make sense.
And of course, like there's always multi-class. You know, you can always pick up spells from like other classes as well. And how if your DM has free archetypes and you can do multi-class archetypes, that's definitely another way as well. So here's a small role question. Could you use battle medicine on both you and your island? Let's see here. That's a good question.
That is a good question. I haven't thought of that.
It depends on the wording for battle medicine. Because if it says the person who becomes immune to the effects, it might cause an issue. Yeah, the target of it becomes... Alright, and then let's look at the confusing as shit summoner rules, and let's see if they have a stipulation. Let's see. Personally, I don't see a problem with it. I don't see a problem with both you and your Edlin being able to benefit from battle medicine, personally. Mostly because battle medicine, while good, is not as strong as like a heal spell necessarily. Granted, you don't have spell slots when it comes to battle medicine, so it becomes a lot better in that context. Let's see here. I'm reading some rules right now, so I apologize for everyone who has to watch me read rules. But this is a good question.
Yeah, I mean, like, it was brought up the whole fact that technically you count as separate, like, creatures. I mean, yeah, that was an interesting question. And yeah, I'm dancing right now for the chat. You just can't see, so sorry.
Yeah, just can't see.
It's a shame. I'm really
God, where's
right
the
now,
section that talks about their healing?
Pumpkin healing. Oh, I'm trying to find more information on the Guns and Gears book because I really, really want the. I just want to know what guns they're gonna give me. You know, because like as long as I'm not just getting basic flintlock, like I want something fun. I want a minigun. I want like a cool sniper. I want minigun. You know, the important things. Yep. Oh yeah, it comes out. It comes out a little off my birthday. That's cool. What a fun little
Yeah.
birthday present.
It comes out 2 days before their game starts, so mine has some last second character iterations. All right. So, based on the question, it's vague ruling. I say it can go either way. It depends on your DM's kind of predilections for doing so. The part that becomes the point of contention is where it says here, like with your actions, if you or your Elin are both subject to the same effect that affects your 8 hit points, you apply those effects only once, applying the greater effect if applicable. It doesn't say simultaneous, so it's not specifying a simultaneous effect. Since the battle medicine action affects your hit points and is its own effect because you can become immune to it, your DM could rule that you both can't benefit from battle medicine. But simultaneously, the rule does not specifically prohibit both of you benefiting from like a treat wounds action, for instance. I would say game balance, the designers would want you to only be affected by once. So if you were under effect that says battle medicine, you become immune for the rest of the day, you and your Adeline would become immune for the rest of the day. I don't particularly think that it would be too broken to do it that way. I mean, action economy wise, you're still using the same amount of actions to heal both yourself and the Elin, as just as if two different people were trying to heal each other. So, you know, like, it's not a super big deal. Plus, only your summoner is able to do it anyway, between the two of you. So, I don't see a problem with it personally. And in my games, I would allow it until it felt like it was being abused. And then I would probably refer to the fact that the book says that you can't benefit from the same healing effect. That being the case, I will say if a DM says that you both can't benefit from it because it's the same kind of effect, you only get the better of the two. So if your summoner gets healed and then your Adeline gets healed for more, you would heal up only the difference between the two.
That's interesting, I guess. Though I will say it was shouted out in the chat that I want to say. I also agree. I hope that the Guns and Gears book adds like cannons and stuff, because oh my god, like a Pirates of the Caribbean style campaign would be a great time. Like full on shipboarding, like going from ship to ship with like a cool like your cutlass and flintlock, like shooting cannons at other ships. That'd be a great time. That'd be an awesome campaign.
Yeah. Give Thuck a cannon. Oh,
yeah. Give him a cannon. He
Give
needs
him a
it.
cannon.
He definitely won't use it on me.
In our Tuesday game, a character is going to be showing up with a gun real soon, so I'm very excited. Slight spoilers.
Oh yeah, there is a pirate archetype.
There is a pirate archetype. It's kind of dumb. It's kind of bad, but my god, do I love it. You get an ability called, like, Walk the Plank. It will be an NPC. We're not adding any other characters until winter, I believe. So, but, yeah, Guns and Gears coming out. you better believe we're having a table talk that week, like the day after it comes out, that we're going to talk about it. So that's, you can schedule that up. That's already what we're talking about next week.
And I'm going to actually do homework before it because I am excited and I really want what's in that book. So I will actually prepare for this one.
And yeah, Rylan also made a good mention earlier. Alcohol is technically an item that can be made with alchemy. So if you mix them, you can make healing shooters if you really wanted to.
That'd be great.
It's a fun idea.
Yeah, that would be.
Cowboy one shot. Cowboy samurai one shot.
Ooh. I was
That would be a
excited
fun
after
one.
after you combined it with samurai. 'Cause, you know, I like cowboy stuff, but only when they're not in the Wild West.
Or what was it? There was a comic book that came out for it. I think it was Cowboy Samurai Viking. With the guy with the power of cowboys, samurais, and Vikings.
That's really dumb. I need it.
I think it was actually a comic. Let me double check real quick online. I want to let some of the YouTube people catch up before we sign off for the day.
Oh, it's Cowboy Ninja Viking.
Oh, Cowboy Ninja Viking. That's
yeah, you're
what it was.
Close.
I'll be right back.
All right. Oh shit, it's all on me then. Hello, chat. It's me. Not a good host, but I'm here. You know, just kind of hanging out. Samurais with guns would be a great time, honestly. Like Ghost of Tsushima, except the main character has just the Glock. So, okay, you're putting me under a lot of pressure right now. You know, my job is just to like kind of talk and react. Favorite? What do you mean favorite minor character ever? Do you mean in tabletop? Because I have favorite characters. I don't know the purview of the question. Man, that cat one on his chair. Yeah.
My God, Alex, I leave you alone for less than 2 minutes.
Fumbling, Cameron, I'm fumbling.
you just can't handle it by yourself at all.
I'm not an entertainer. I'm behind the camera, bro. It's my entire thing.
Also, fun fact, actually, we'll add a little bit more. With the recent Mwangi book, gnolls have a really interesting feat, which is called like right hand of healing, or whatever. Apparently, half of a gnoll's body is full of restorative properties, and half of it is poisonous. Really interesting fact. If they use their right hand, what was the effect? I'm looking up it right now. Yeah, it's called Right Hand Blood. It's a level 5 feat. You can take 1 damage to feed your blood from your right side when you administer first aid, or 2d8 damage to treat wounds or treat diseases. You can do this without the use of healer's tools, which is really cool. It allows you to administer first aid, or it allows you to heal people without healer's tools, and you get a +1 item bonus to doing so. But you could feed them blood from your left side, and it causes these checks to automatically crit fail.
That's really fun. That is a really cool ability. And that's the kobold, right?
That's the gnoll.
Oh, the gnoll. Okay.
The gnoll gets it.
Makes sense.
And I think that's a really interesting idea. That's a really, really fun idea. And it makes canon that for some reason the right side of gnolls gives healing properties and the left side gives poisonous properties, which is very interesting. Very interesting.
Cool.
Let's see.
A rogue with the gunslinger archetype would be a very fun time. Because that's the first thing I'm going to be doing when the book comes out, is trying to find out what classes work really well with guns. My first thought is the ranged fighter Magus.
Yes, actually, I was looking into that too.
Yeah.
They are adding over 12 new archetype dedications.
Ooh.
In addition to the 2 classes.
Oh, shit. That's really cool.
Oh, I like that. I like the Cobalt Alchemist that's reflavored their elixirs as candy.
That is very fun.
That's very fun. I really, really like that.
I like kobolds. They're always really fun.
Thuckle's great.
I mean, also it has has Paizo been listening to my suggestions at all, Cameron?
They said that they are writing it down. It's like a 10-year process. When they come out with 3rd edition is usually when they'll do. They'd have to rewrite a whole bunch of things, and obviously, like, they can't just write druids out right now. It's too deep in the lore.
Darn. Just get rid of druids. Give everyone a gun. I forget what other suggestions, but I know they were good. And definitely balanced.
Rusk, you don't understand. Alex, he doesn't know. El Nosabe, he doesn't know that there's gonna be a very strong archetype that he's gonna pick as soon as he figures it out.
Wait, what? Is there?
I'll just say, Alex, you like strange, like, Christian iconography.
I love hyper aggressive Catholic imagery, yes.
Mm-hmm. And, what if you gave one of those people a gun?
I could be the fucking preacher with a gun. Yeah. I could be the preacher with a Bible over his chest, over his heart, only as a defensive tool. Is this what you're telling me?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I told you.
Oh, I want to play this.
I told you. I was just like, he doesn't know. He doesn't know that Preacher's coming up.
Yes. Oh my god. I can't wait to just quote Bible verse in a D&D game. This is going to be awesome. I guess I'm going to have to reread Preacher before the next book comes out. And you know what? Is not a thing I'm against. That is a great time.
So sorry, Slag. Fortunately, this video will be available up on our YouTube that you can watch any parts you have missed, especially for those who are attempting to catch up on the video. I do apologize for the delay in YouTube. And for those who don't know, we are multi-streaming. You can watch us on your favorite platform of Twitch, Facebook, or YouTube. These videos are also being uploaded to my YouTube channel, Bad Luck Gamer, so you can check us out there as well to get up to date on all the things we're doing out and to see my new videos I'm producing every week, where I just gush about how great Pathfinder is and where I talk about everything really good going on with Pathfinder in each of the classes specifically. Also, I think now's a really great time to talk about, if you're enjoying the content you guys have been seeing on my channel, please follow or subscribe on whatever platform you're on. It helps me motivation-wise. It also helps my content reach more people who are going to enjoy it as well. Also, speaking of which, if you want to join our community, we have a great community of people who love tabletop. And in all forms, including Warhammer. We have our own Warhammer section, being monitored by my co-host right here.
Yeah.
For Warhammer 40k, if you're into that kind of stuff. Check us out in the Discord down below, either in the description or below on Twitch. And also, you can check out, we are still looking for one more person for our Friday Pathfinder games. We are running we're going to be running every Friday, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We are doing a Pathfinder 2nd Edition game in the Mwangi Expanse. If you're interested in joining it, please join our Discord and then message me on Discord letting me know that you're interested in joining the game. We got one more slot I'm looking to fill out, so please do that as soon as you can. We'll be having our session 0 starting next Friday, and then we'll be playing the Friday after. Granted, I am giving a little bit of time for players to put in their gunslinger characters or inventors, so you don't have to make a character completely next week, but next week we will be at least talking about the game, what you guys want to do, and discussing character ideas so that the party can find the right kind of balance. Yeah, so with that, we've kind of gone about like 15-17 minutes over the video. Hopefully this gives everyone enough time to kind of like reach the end of the main part of the video. You can all catch up obviously over at YouTube. And yeah, I do recommend if you are interested in joining the games, you check out some of the other games I have run. A lot of the games we've been running for the last year are on the YouTube, so you can see my style, you can see how I run games, and you can see if it fits for you. This is a 15 session campaign, 15 to 20 session campaign, so it'll be lasting through the holiday season, probably getting to about February by my anticipation, because there will be some weeks we'll probably be taking off, like Thanksgiving will probably be one of those for sure, and maybe Christmas as well. So, you know, check us out there. But beyond that, I think we're going to go ahead and end for the day. So thank you all so much for watching. I highly appreciate you. Please follow and or subscribe if this is the kind of content you want to see more of. We'll be here next week and every week after. And thank you to my co-host, Glue Boy or Alex, for being here. And, you know, I mean, like, I can't really rely on you too much this time around.
Listen,
I got up for like 2 minutes and you were just like, oh God, what do I do?
Absolutely panicked. I don't know how to just talk to a chat. It's hard and scary. There's people looking at you, but they're not. You know?
That is true. And oh, that's a great idea. The Bible Shield. You can use the mugs with the tome feature. Oh, that's really good.
Oh!
That's really good.
That's super cool.
You're putting more ideas in his head.
Yeah. I swear, I'm gonna fucking like crunch this. This could be a day whole process of making just the best preacher gunslinger you've ever seen.
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be so fun.
But yeah, I think that's a great note to leave off on. So thank you all, and go ahead and bid everyone good night, Alex.
Good night, Alex.
I didn't say to say good night. I said to bid everyone good night.
I don't know what that specifically, just to bid someone, but you know, good night all.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't use college words like julienne in your presence.
That word is made up and nonsense, and you know it. It is just a cut. It is dumb, and like you're all wrong. I highly suspect you said Julian, and everyone was like, of course. They didn't know what it meant either. It's a conspiracy against me to make me look dumb.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.